stuff. It's a little bit of a busy night out tonight in Long Beach. You may be aware we have several marches related to the George Floyd incident that are taking place this evening. We have had one incident take place in town already. We had a window broken at Five Guys on Park Avenue and Edwards. That person was immediately arrested. They don't know if that person was by themselves or whether they were affiliated with the march that was going on at the time. But we do have a sizable amount of resources in right now from the county police force, from the state police, as well as most of the Long Beach police forces on duty at this time. So there is a march that is going on right now. We believe it's headed towards City Hall. Then we have heard that one's going to go down and meet up with the other march that was planned to take place at 6 o'clock down at the boardwalk at Riverside. So our resources are deployed along the routes they're going to be taking, as well as just making sure things go quiet and they stay quiet and go smoothly. So that's basically the update of where we are right now. So with that, I guess the city manager is working with the police right now, so she's unavailable to be on the meeting, so we're not going to have a city manager report tonight. This is this other issue right now that's going on is taking priority. That's one of the reasons we moved the meeting to this unusual time, is we wanted to make sure we were done for the 6 o'clock march, just to make sure in case our resources needed to be available that we weren't tied up in the middle of a council meeting. So with that, the other thing that'll be a little different tonight as well is for good and welfare. Again, the staff was fully absorbed today in preparing for what was going on today. So any good and welfare questions that we'll receive for today are going to be, there'll be written answers provided. They'll be put up on the website, and everybody will have access to those, just not the people listening in tonight. So that was just a necessity, again, because our resources were getting ready for today's activities. So with that, I guess we can move on to the agenda.
Item 1 on the agenda is a resolution authorizing the continued retention of Capital Markets Advisors, LLC.
Okay, so this is, Capital Markets is the city's financial advisor. They were brought in last year. Their contract is up. We are going to be renewing it. They were getting $12,000 a month. It was paid for through the state financial restructuring board. It wasn't, the city was not paying for it. Our city manager has talked them down to $10,000 a month. And again, this year, we expect it's going to be paid for by the state financial restructuring board. These guys have been very integral to starting our financial turnaround. They're helping us, they're doing audits. They're helping us develop a long-range financial plan and a turnaround plan. So they've been a pretty important component to the financial turnaround. So we believe we need to keep them around. And again, we expect the state's going to pay for it again. So with that, any questions from the council? Okay, I was not told of any questions being submitted by the public, so on to the next item.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing settlement of certiorari proceedings. And I have Ray Flammer available for the call. I'm going to unmute him right now.
Okay.
Okay, Ray, you're unmuted.
And good evening. You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is a tax certiorari settlement for Casablanca. It's an apartment building on 10 Franklin Boulevard and the boardwalk. It was slightly overvalued, and this settles 8 years with a 3-year moratorium where they cannot file any grievances. It's a 9% reduction in assessed value and a lump sum cash refund of $50,000. It's an older apartment building built in 1926, originally as a hotel. It was converted to an apartment building around 1989 when it was renovated. It's an older building, so with older buildings, more expenses to maintain a building. And New York State law, all buildings like this are valued in use, so it's based on market rents, not on what it would sell for on the open market. This settlement also is interest-free, and like I said, it's moving forward, it's a 3-year freeze. Any questions?
Okay, it doesn't look like there's any questions. I didn't receive any questions from the public, so thank you, Ray. Maybe we can move on to the next item.
Thank you, Ray.
Okay, item number 3 is a resolution adopting the City of Long Beach Floodplain Management Plan. I have Joe Fabrizio and John Miranda on. I'm going to unmute them right now. Joe, you're unmuted, and John, you're unmuted.
Okay, I'm just going to give a quick overview, and then Joe's going to take up the rest as he was the key person pushing this through. Back last July, Nassau County decided not to. Are you guys hearing me all right? Because I'm hearing a lot of echoing.
We're hearing the echo too.
Do you by chance have the computer on as well?
No, I shut down my speaker. Hold on a second.
No, hold on, I
Can you hear me
muted.
now?
Yeah, it was echoing through Joe's connection.
Can't hear you.
It was echoing through Joe's connection, so I just unmuted Joe's connection for right now.
Okay, so back in July of last summer, Nassau County decided not to renew their multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan, which the city was then informed by ISO, the Insurance Service Organization, that we would lose our community rating system, which affords us a Class 7 and a 15% reduction in homeowners flood insurance. So we had to scramble, put together an RFP, hire a firm, which we did, Tetra Tech, and we formed a committee to develop the floodplain management plan for Long Beach, plus to re-enumerate all our points that would be required to maintain our Class 7. We put a committee together that had to involve people from city government and people from non-government, and that committee worked very hard. I just want to take a minute and just thank the people that worked and served on the committee. From Economic Development, Patty Bourne and Rebecca Steiner. From Parks and Recreation, Joe Brand. From the Office of Emergency Management, Rich Corbett. Of course, Joe Fabrizio from the Department of Public Works. Community Development, Tyler Hoffman. And Community Development and Sustainability, Ryan McTiernan. And from our Zoning Board of Appeals, Rocco Morelli. And from the Building Department, Rich Shue. And from the Manager's Office at that time, Gordon Tepper. Also like to thank Rita Butler from the Department of Public Works. She was the recording secretary for all our public meetings and all the correspondence that went out. Non-government representatives from the community, we had Scott Bachner from Environmental Advisory Board. We had Ian Danby representing the Chamber of Commerce. We had Dr. Gallagher, superintendent of Long Beach Schools. Scott Kemmons, who is an employee, represented the Volunteer Fire Department. We couldn't have both or we would lose points, so they recommended just using the Volunteer Fire Department chief or commissioner. From West Holman Walks Civic Association, we had Tom Kinnaird. And from an insurance company, O'Toole Insurance, Ed O'Toole. A developer, Anthony Rector. And Kevin Riley, who represented the Northeast Bay and Canal Civic Association. In addition, representing COAD. And Lee Tozer representing real estate agents. These people put in many meetings and many times, and their help was really appreciated. Without them, we wouldn't have got there. But I do have to just thank two people in particular, Rich Shue and Joe Fabrizio, who went above and beyond because it was getting to be touch and go at the end, and they pushed this thing through past the finish line. Once we passed this plan, we will have maintained our class 7, and people in Long Beach will maintain their 15% reduction in flood insurance. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Joe to give you more specific details on the flood management plan.
As John. Yeah, Joe, we got a little bit of feedback there.
That's so bad.
Yes.
My phone, I guess. That's really. Hello?
Joe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, yeah.
Okay, there we go. You had 2 connections going, that's why. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Sorry about that. All right, great. Yes, as John was saying, we received a call from the ISO office that the Nassau County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan had expired, and that was our prerequisite for participation in the CRS program. So the only substitute for that participation in the county plan that would satisfy the prerequisites of the CRS program was the adoption of either a repetitive loss area analysis or a floodplain management plan. Both of these would be were basically Herculean tasks considering the short time frame, but we opted to create the floodplain management plan, which is what the council has before it this evening to vote on. It's important to note, again, by voting this is the last step. We will maintain our Class 7 status in the CRS program, which results in a 15% reduction in flood insurance premiums for all city residents. That equates to approximately $1.5 million annually, or $7.5 million over the 5-year program term. I've been asked the question many times, like, what is a floodplain management plan? It basically provides a mechanism to identify the best alternatives within the capabilities of a jurisdiction to reduce the risk associated with flooding. So, and again, a short summary is like it has 5 major goals in it associated that has different objectives. Like goal number 1, for example, is to protect the city infrastructure / environment from flooding. So the objectives that go along with that goal would be 1, to prevent backflow from outfalls by installing things such as check valves, which we of course do. Also, another objective is to enhance infrastructure to protect against a flood event, 100-year flood event. Again, the way we do this in Long Beach is flood elevation. That's what we're doing in the 2 canals. It also identifies approximately 55 flood hazard mitigation initiatives that are in there. Some of the examples are to support the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Back Bay study, obviously to maintain our status in the CRS program. 3 is to maintain our website for pre-storm information, maintain our dunes, encourage the use of stormwater pumping stations. Essentially, program, it basically is going to be an invaluable tool for the city moving forward. That's just a quick summary. If you have any questions, it is online, the document. It's been there for some time now, the final document. And again, voting on this is the last step. We'll forward this hopefully tomorrow to the ISO, and we will maintain our Class 7 status. Thank you.
Helps if I unmute before I talk. Okay, any questions from the council? Okay, I think it's just like I said, I want to reiterate, even though both John and Joe said it, because of this, you're eligible for a 15% discount on your flood insurance. So everybody listening to this and everybody in town that pays flood insurance benefits from this. So with no questions, I didn't get any questions from the public. We can move on to the next item.
Okay, item number 4 is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment to the Community Development Fund for the 41st program year.
Okay, so this is moving some Community Development Block Grant Fund money from the 41st year program. So it's moving it into City Hall to ADA to make it compliant. So it's pretty straightforward. That's it. Any questions from the council? Okay. Again, nothing from the public that I got, so we can move on to the next item.
And item 5 is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment to the Community Development Fund for the 42nd year.
And just like the last one, this is just moving some community development block grant money from the 42nd year program. These are annual programs, so this is money from previous years that had not been utilized yet. So again, this is just moving it again. Any questions from the council? Okay, I didn't get any questions from the public, so we could move on.
Item 6 is a resolution authorizing the city controller to accept and deposit a workforce reduction credit refund in the amount of $27,983 from the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance.
Okay, just like he just said, we're getting a refund from the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance for just under $28,000. So this is just us approving getting that refund and depositing it in the city's account. Any questions from the council? All right, didn't get any questions from the public, so next item.
And finally, item 7 is a resolution authorizing the award of a bid for the purchase of traffic signs.
Okay, I didn't know if John Miranda or Joe wanted to say anything about this. It's pretty straightforward. We're just getting some traffic signs.
Let me unmute each of them. Joe, you're unmuted, and John, you're unmuted.
This is really for the purchasing department, and these are signs through the sign shop that the sign shop needs that really reports at this point to the police department. Inspector Ryan used to take care of this, and this, as Karen had brought up, didn't have any pricing on it, but it's only pay as needed. So it's just a different grouping of pricing for various size signs.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
It's not really a question. I just want to comment for Joe Fabrizio that I did see the bid opening. I think on Boyd, you had it online, was a video, and I just thought it was very professional and it was very clear. And I wanted to thank you for that I did watch it and I liked it. That's it.
Okay. Again, I didn't get any questions from the public that I was given, so I guess we can go on to the voting.
Okay. On to the voting portion. So item 1 is a resolution authorizing the continued retention of Capital Markets Advisor, LLC. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will. Mm-hmm. I'll second.
Oh, hold on. Who got that?
Mike,
okay. And who seconded?
I will.
Okay, thank you. Voting, Councilmember Delury.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston.
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing settlement of Certiorari proceedings. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Delury.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston.
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Item 3 is a resolution adopting the City of Long Beach Floodplain Management Plan. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Delury.
Thank you, everybody that worked on this. Rich, Joe Fabrizio, and all of the people that were named. I'm glad to know there was a lot of community involvement and people, a lot of work, and I'd be happy to vote yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
I echo Councilman Delury's statements. I vote yes.
Councilmember Treston.
I echo the statements as well. I know how difficult it is to get the CRS rating. It's over 600 pages. They've put in an extreme amount of hours, and I'm very appreciative on behalf of our residents. And with that, I vote yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Just want to echo that also. Thank you to John and Joe and everyone who and Richie Shue and everybody who put all the hours into this. A lot of people in the city are going to benefit from it. Yes.
Okay, item number 4 is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment for the Community Development Fund for the 41st program year. Who will introduce and move adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
I will.
Excuse me. Voting, Councilmember Delory.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston.
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
And item 5 is a resolution authorizing a budget for the Community Development Fund for the 42nd program year. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item? Second?
I will.
Okay, voting, Councilmember Delory.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston.
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Item 6 is a resolution authorizing the city controller to accept and deposit a workforce reduction credit refund in the amount of $27,983 from New York State Municipal Worker Compensation Alliance. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
I will.
Who is that?
Brendo.
Okay. Voting, Councilmember Delory.
I'd like to thank the city controller. I'm happy to vote yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston.
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
And finally, item 7 is a resolution authorizing the award of a bid for the purchase of traffic signs. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second? Voting, Councilmember Delory.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston. Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Who will make a motion to close the meeting?
I will, but before we close, everyone just be safe. And with that, I vote yes.
Haven't got to the voting yet.
Haven't got to the vote.
I still need a second.
Second, Delory.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
second that.
Long baby.
Okay. Voting, Councilmember Delory.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston.
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
I just want to say something before. Sorry, guys. I know we talked about the protest before, but I don't want. I want to also mention how deeply saddened and upset, probably the council is by the death of Mr. George Floyd at the hand of police brutality. This council and the LBPD, rank and file, do not believe in this type of behavior and will not tolerate it in Long Beach. Nor will we tolerate a violence of any kind. While we can always do better in Long Beach, I am proud of our diversity and that we can conduct peaceful protests and that we can all respect and support each other. So please, everyone, be safe and considerate of each other, and let's remember that a person died. And with that, I vote yes.
President Bendo.
Yes. Okay, so as I said, the good and welfare questions that was submitted, they will be answered in writing and posted online. And with that, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Input to the city manager and the comptroller. So we have the draft errata sheet.